Okay, let's see if I can find this shortcut. Come on, Sid. Use your... Oh, can I use my animal instincts? What is it? R3. L3, isn't it? No. Doesn't seem like... it doesn't seem like we can do it. We've been picking up crafting material after crafting material, and I have not... I don't think we've made anything. I mean, we've made, like, our main weapon, but it's like... It's been like an upgrade from the previous weapon for, like, the past 3 weapons. So, like, one of the ingredients is always, like, a wind shard or a fire shard or a lightning shard. And
Not
then...
abandoned, then.
And then the previous weapon...
Oi! Visitors!
And a small amount of other crafting material.
Apologies. We'll show ourselves out. Or not.
We're not even gonna talk. Straight to killing. These poor suckers didn't even stand a chance. Not enough to kill people anymore, which is unfortunate. They might not have died if they just had a quick conversation with us. Ah, here, the gill bug. That's what I was talking about earlier. I wonder how much these sell for.
I've only ever seen one man fight like that. And he's long dead.
Then perhaps it's time you joined him.
The blessing of the Phoenix. It can't be. I was there when you died.
Oh, were those one of the 2 people that helped us in the marshes? It is.
Forgive me, my lord. I knew not whom I addressed. You have naught to fear from us. Founder, it really is you.
It is. So wait.
Sorry for killing those people. I like how nobody cares that we just killed like 10 of their guys.
We can speak inside.
Not even mentioned. Slit their friends. Oh, they're not dead. Okay. The one time we didn't kill them. Why? Because because the story needed it to happen.
And those who wouldn't bend the knee?
We
Little
left
plot
before
hole
the
there.
Empire could make examples of us. Though we didn't
Or a
get
little
far.
funny business, not a plot hole, I guess.
And we banded together to form the Guardians of the Flame soon after. Alas, there is only so much a handful of aging shields can do against the might of an empire. But we've seen to it that their stay has been anything but pleasant. Of late, though, we've had our hands full just trying to keep the Duchy's few remaining bearers out of the Imperial's clutches.
The Cullings. We saw what happened in Old Hill.
Aye, the foul work of the Black Shields and their mistress.
You mean my mother? But it doesn't make sense. Even knowing what I know about her. Her hatred for bearers was no secret, but she wouldn't have been ignorant of their value to the realm.
No offense, my lord. But in case you haven't noticed, the Lady Annabella couldn't care less about the realm. She barely even cares for her own home. That much has been plain since the slaughter at Eastpool. And, since granting the Holy Emperor a new heir, her obsession with bearers only seems to have grown. As to why, I don't know. Maybe she can't bear the thought of anyone having the power to challenge her beloved son.
I guess we have a
Her
stepbrother
son.
now.
Sir Wade, the Black Shields have broken camp. They march in full force for Buick Bridge.
Then so do we. Make ready. This is their main host. If we remove the head, perhaps we can prevent what happened at the docks from happening somewhere else.
What happened at the dock? Oh,
If I do nothing, then the blood of their next victims will be on my hands.
I think we were at the docks already. We didn't spend too much time at the docks, though.
Yours and ours. We too have witnessed the crimes these men who dare call themselves shields have committed in my mother's name. It cannot be allowed to continue. We must put a stop to this madness.
We must. So let us go with you. For the good of Rosaria.
I was hoping you'd say that. Very well. If that is your wish, I would be honored to serve at your side.
And we at yours.
So, Wade, let us do our duty.
With pleasure, my lord.
You know, I think I might have an idea of why his mother's might be doing what he's doing, or what she's doing.
I imagine this endeavor will require more than just our wits.
You know, especially
And
with
let's
her
hope Sir Wade
talk
has a good
about bloodline.
quartermaster.
Maybe she's a special type of bloodline, which has a higher chance of producing dominance, or people that can use magic. But I think dominance, right? Because he had us. I mean, I don't know. I think she's our blood mother, right? So I mean, we have special powers. You have Joshua, who is a dominant. M- Maybe what was going on with Rosaria, you know, us being technically a failure of a dominant, Joshua being kind of sickly. Maybe she thought her bloodline was in jeopardy and betrayed us. And then she hooked up with the emperor, apparently, and now she has a new son, our stepbrother, which could be, he could be at 18 years old. I mean, because it's been 18 years. You know, there was that first 13-year period, and then there was another 5 years. I imagine he's probably not exactly 18. Probably a little younger than that. But he's probably pretty old at this point. 16, something like that. I guess let's see what's new at the shop.
You are welcome to what little we have managed to salvage.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising, though. Pretty much what everybody else has.
It has been an honor.
Okay, I think that's it. Let's go.
Tell us then, Sir Wade. What is your plan?
Nothing fancy. You, Lady Jill, and I make for Buick Bridge and provoke the main host at their encampment. Sensing an opportunity to end the Guardians, the Black Shields will call for reinforcements, who will be met from the rear by parties of my brothers hidden throughout the surrounding hills. This will allow us to wage battle on the bridge without fear of being overwhelmed. While the Black Shields have an advantage in numbers, you see, they prefer to fight in small units, which we can use to our advantage.
How small exactly?
Small enough, now that I have you and Lady Jill for company. I doubt I could have done this on my own.
But until we arrived, that was your plan. You haven't changed a bit.
The fact that he's still alive.
Sir Wade, the bearers from Old Hill have been laid to rest.
Very good. Now make ready for battle.
As you command.
Just wonder what happened to the other dude. I forget if he died at Phoenix Gate.
Thank you, Sir Wade.
A lot of weird stuff happened there.
Perhaps now they will find peace.
There is but one thing which will grant them peace. Putting an end to the Black Shields.
And so we shall.
Yo, welcome to the stream, Fudge. Good morning. Everything's going pretty well. Thanks for asking. How you doing? Let's see, party members. Throughout the main scenario, Clive will often be joined by various companions who are keen to lend their assistance. However, depending on Clive's destination, they may choose to remain behind at the hideaway. Okay, do we actually have party members that we can control? Because people have been joining and leaving our party forever. Why'd that message just pop up now? Whatever. Let's get out of here.
May the blessing of the Phoenix go with you.
One guy got squashed like a grape, didn't they? Are you talking about that short I made? I made a
How long
short
have you been pursuing the Black
about
Shields?
someone getting squashed like
Since
a
they
grape.
burned their first village.
That was
We
wild.
tracked down the bastards responsible and fed their corpses to Stillwind. Suffice to say, that got their attention. It's been a game of cat and mouse ever since.
Does he have his own chocobo? He sure does. You're trying to psych yourself up. Gotta change the brake pads on the car today before it goes in for MOT on Friday. That's an easy job, man. You got this. At least it can be. Especially if you got the disc brakes. Now, if you got some drum brakes in the back, they can be more time consuming, unfortunately.
Come along now.
Definitely not a fan of them.
The bastards are lucky I didn't.
There they are.
Oh, you've never done it
On
before.
your command, my lord.
Well, watch some videos. I recommend at the very least. I mean, you do need breaks to live.
What is it now? I told you.
We bear a message for the Vicereine. From the Guardians of the Flame.
Ha! You presume to tell us that a pair of filthy vagabonds, a woman and a dog, could guard aught against the might of the Black Shields? Then come! Die along with your flame!
You disrespect my dog.
For Azaria!
For us area!
Your petty revolution ends here.
Yep, not because we're about to die, it's because you guys are about to die.
On these our swords we swear.
Okay, that's pretty much most of them. That it? Hope we got the captain, of course. Who's got too much HP.
Reinforcements from the far bank!
Another wyvern to fight their battles for them.
Well, this guy's got a lot more HP. But not enough.
More dragons.
Okay, maybe having more dragons might be
The
helpful to them.
Imperials aren't taking any chances. I can't
But
say
I
I'm
still think it's a...
flattered.
And I think maybe I'm gonna get rid of this ability. I think the other one was better.
You're finished.
Can I actually stop? Oh, I can't. Oh, that sucked. But at least we learned some new information. I was hoping that we could stop our limit break like halfway through and like regain some of our
A noble stand, albeit
Ooh, a
a
dragoon.
misguided one. In taking it, you have but proven our point. That this land is in dire need of cleansing.
It's like the third dragoon that we faced. Are you gonna get a friend to help you? Well, that's good. Well, be safe. And don't take any unnecessary risks. You easily get hurt. You do something stupid. Yeah, so I was hoping to stop my limit break early. And then keep some of my bar here. But nope, as soon as you stop the limit break, your bar just goes away, no matter how much is left.
Sir Wade!
Found them. There's no one left to keep them occupied. We need to finish this.
You mean finish him? Nice try.
These parries, man. I got lucky with these parries.
To me, boy.
I should probably toss a potion in there, huh?
There's a good boy.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we don't need it. We can just use this so we can get back some HP.
I won't fall for the likes of you.
And he's probably dead anyways.
To me, boy.
Can't make his way out of this. He's probably dead before he's out of the stagger. Maybe not. Oh. Just barely made it. And we didn't have to waste the potion. So many crafting materials. You would think there'd be a million things to craft, but there's barely anything at this point.
I don't see any more.
Maybe I should look at the upgrade
Nor
menu.
do I. The plan worked.
Maybe that's where most of the stuff is.
It bloody worked. We sent every last one of the rotten bastards straight to the mud. My, Lord, perhaps this will be enough to stop the Cullings. For the time being, at least.
Perhaps. Though I doubt my mother will take this loss well. She'll move swiftly to see her minions' ranks replenished.
And then it will all begin again. I often wonder if the nation we once knew is gone for good. Her fields rot. Her people starve. We battled to preserve the flame that was, but for every foe we fell, another springs up in its place. Yet be that as it may, it is still our home, and we must fight for it, as we always have, and always will. For as long as the Firebird's flame burns in our hearts, the Duchy cannot die, and her loyal subjects may dream of a day when the Rosarian standard flies over Rosalith once more.
So wait,
Think we should fall back to Port Isolde before the garrison sends reinforcements? A sound strategy, my lord.
This dude's been putting in the work for 18 years. He looks pretty old, too. I mean, he wasn't young when we saw him 18 years ago. He's got my respect.
And how long has my uncle been funding you and your comrades' endeavors?
Since the beginning. Lord Byron was the first person I turned to after forming the Guardians. And had I known of this tunnel back then, I wouldn't almost have been hanged by the city guard for trying to sneak over the wall.
I suppose a formal request for an audience would have appeared suspicious.
And appearances must be maintained. Were the Vice-Regency to catch wind of Lord Byron's involvement in our movement, they'd seize his estate and send him to the gallows, where he would be of no use to anyone. And so, though it sickens him to the soul, he plays the part of the loyal lord, knowing that one wrong move might prove his downfall. It is why he remains ever vigilant. Don't be surprised if he refuses you an audience, especially since you're famously dead.
Then I will have to think of a way to prove that I am neither wraith nor wrongdoer.
I might have something which could help with the latter.
Another seal?
It's the mark of the Guardians. Display it, and those who love Rosaria will know where your loyalties lie.
Yep, another seal. The burnt blade.
I shall wear it with pride.
Be sure that you do. I don't want my men attacking you again. Unless you deserve it. If only Sir Tyler could have been here to see you.
Ah, there he is. Who is this one?
Or the Lord Commander.
Where is Sir Tyler? Is he dead? He must have died that night.
Thank you, Sir Wade. If there is ever anything you need.
I know. Go on now, my lord.
I still think our sword is pretty cool. It'll be sad to see it go the next time we get another weapon. Although let's see, I'll mention it later. Let's see, Rossfield Manor. Is this where our uncle is?
How accommodating. Do you really think they believe we are who we say we are?
Not a chance.
Somebody's walking.
Right, I guess. My uncle believes we're imposters here to rob him. And means to string us up himself.
Imagine my surprise when I was told my nephew had come to visit. Clive Rossfield died long ago. And for uttering his name here, you shall pay with your tongue.
I mean, we're like a spitting image of our father. You would think he would recognize us.
You would mock me as well?
It is I, Sir Crandall of Camelot, loyal servant to Her Serene Holiness, Saint Sybil the Unshod.
Meadow, thou vile sorcerer, for thy crimes against church and crown, I shall have thy head.
Must be something we did when we were young.
Curse thee, infectious flax wench. Even in death, must thou plague me still? Very well. I shall open the gates of hell, that thou might see thy charge once more.
Bravo, Uncle. You're still the finest Meadow in the twins.
Oh, Clive, my dear boy, it's really you. You always were fond of that scene from The Saint in the Sanctuary. Never did let me play Sir Crandall.
I knew it was some sort of play.
I have a favor to ask, Uncle Byron.
Rutherford, inform the kitchens. There'll be guests. We dine immediately.
But, Uncle...
You can't very well regale me with the tale of your miraculous preservation on an empty stomach. Go on, sit. See that you use the good plates, Rutherford.
Let's hope he doesn't stab me in the back. You know, unwilling.
So you arrived late to one of her cullings, did you? Since becoming Vicereine, Annabella has been a constant thorn in Rosaria's side, but these atrocities are a new low. Something has changed. Quite what, I don't know, but the woman we knew is gone, and a monster sits in her place.
I don't know. Everybody's betraying me left and right. Just
For
got
better or
this weird
worse,
feeling.
I've been charged with governing this town, and
But he
thus
has
must
to betray
maintain
us.
the illusion of obedience.
Or at least he has to
That's all I
put
can
that
do
illusion
to
out.
aid Wade and his merry band of revolutionaries.
Definitely wouldn't do it on purpose, I imagine.
So he's told us. You have risked much for Rosaria. Our nation will be forever in your debt.
It has been 20 years, Clive.
Now it's
The
been
nation
20
your
years.
father and your forefathers fought to defend is no more. Perhaps it would be otherwise had I the courage of my brother.
Maybe he's just rounding up. Thought it was only 18 years.
All right, if it's a ship you require, a ship you shall have. I've a galley in port, but recently relieved of her cargo. She can be outfitted for the voyage in a matter of weeks.
So you believe us then? About everything?
Believe you? Ha! Only a fool would believe even half of the things you claim. But until tonight, only a fool would have believed my nephew still lived. And besides, I have it on good authority that Clive is telling the truth.
Whose authority?
By your own, of course. You've always been a terrible liar.
Is that true?
It's not untrue.
I'd say no more about it, eh? It wouldn't do to linger on my nephew's greatest failing. The one thing I cannot believe, though, is all this about you being Sid. You were always such a good boy, but now you're quite the outlaw. Which, if I'm not mistaken, would make me an outlaw's uncle. Right then, who shall we pillage first? Rutherford, fetch me my cutlass. This will be fun.
This guy seems pretty fun for real. Let's hope he doesn't end up dying somehow. Something's still going on with Jill. She refuses to tell us.
Over there. Go on.
She's a fine ship, isn't she?
Maybe now she'll tell us. This seems
Once
like the
outfitted,
perfect time.
she'll bear us across the boiling sea to Drustinus in the space of 3 days.
Is it her homeland?
Something on your mind?
Please don't say nothing this time.
Monsters. When I served the Iron Kingdom, I did so because I saw no other choice. Because once they learned that the lash would not move me, they turned it on those who could.
Wonder what happened to that child.
And so I became their puppet.
Welcome to the stream lightning shot.
I let them pull my strings, telling myself it was not my hand that swung the sword,
You don't have the game
but
yet?
another's.
I would recommend it if you like action RPGs with a good story.
I removed
I'm loving it
myself
right now.
from the truth so I wouldn't feel the pain it caused. And before I knew it, I no longer felt anything. Anything at all. I had become a monster.
Jill.
I don't want to be a monster, Clive. Do you understand? I want to choose a different path, a better path. To live on my own terms. But before I can do that, I need to come to terms with my past.
And when you do, I'll be standing there with you, just as you stood with me.
Thank you, Clive. I must atone for my sins. Only then, when it's done, will the monster cease to be.
Just promise me that you won't die with it. Now, let's get some sleep. The journey back to Benamir is long, and there is much to tell the others.
You know, when this game was first announced, and there was a strong, I don't know if it was like told immediately that this game you'd pretty much be by yourself the whole time. There's no parties in this game. It's just Clive and Torg. Torgal is like the only other party member that we have any control over, and it's only like 3 moves. That's it. Right? So I was like super, I don't know if I was concerned. I personally am not a fan of, like, I love Final Fantasy VI, but just having like, I think there's like 9 characters you can have in your party. As much as I like Final Fantasy VI and all their stories kind of coming together and them having their own separate stories, it's great. But it's just so hard to manage, like, especially if there's like, they join your party and then they disappear for a little bit, and there's like, and it's one thing if you like can just choose, your party from like 10 people or something and kind of just stick with them, but that's never the case when there's like 9 or 10 people, or like more than can fit in one party. They always like force you to use them in some way. So you have to spend more time grinding because they don't usually share experience, and you never know when they're going to split you in 2 parties, and you don't want people to be way too weak. So it's like, it's always a pain in the ass to manage. That's why I was always like, much rather have, if 3 people can be on the party, 3 people. Sometimes Final Fantasy you can have 4 people in the party. Just those 3 or 4 people and I'm fine. But this game took it a completely different direction. It's just one person. I don't have to worry about anything. Right? He's always in my party. And then these other people can, travel with me and assist me, but I don't have any control. Like Jill. Jill's been in my party for like the last 10 hours. I have 0 control of what she does. I can't even change the gear that she's wearing. Nothing. So, I mean, some people might consider that a negative thing, but I kind of like it. No, I mean, yeah, it's got its benefits and it's got its, and there are bad things about it, right? Personally, I'm fine with that.